was just another day at the zoo until it wasn't. Max woke up when the sun was shining through his bedroom window. His mom was making breakfast downstairs, and birds were tweeting outside. But something was off. The house felt unusually silent. He couldn't hear any cars or trucks or even the mailman. Peeking out the front door, he noticed something even stranger. The entire town was frozen in time. People were stuck mid-stride, and their mouths were open mid-sentence. Even the animals in the nearby park were turned to stone. Just then, a penguin waddled past, completely unaffected. "Excuse me," said Max, "but what's going on here?" The penguin looked at him strangely. "What do you mean? It's just another day at the zoo." Confused, Max followed the penguin, who soon led him to the zoo entrance. A sign above the gate read, "To save our town, you must first find the source of the freeze. Follow the frozen river to where the clock strikes 13. There you will find the reason for this icy disaster. Only you can stop time from stopping." Turns out the mysterious penguin was a time traveler from the future who had come back to prevent the town from being frozen forever. Max had no idea how he was gonna do that, but he was willing to try anything to save his mom, his dog Sparky, and all the people and animals in his town. Following the penguin's advice, Max walked along the riverbank, dodging frozen ducks and polar bears until he came to a bridge. On the other side, he could see an enormous ice sculpture of a man holding a large gem-encrusted staff. As Max got closer, he realized the man was the zoo's owner and the staff was made of pure ice. Suddenly, the ground rumbled beneath his feet. The ice sculpture of the man raised its head and cracked its icy jaw. "Who's there?" boomed a voice as Max took off running. The Iceman lumbered toward him, swinging his staff and sending shards of ice flying through the air. Dodging the ice shards, Max raced across the bridge and into the forest. The penguin zoomed past him, just barely staying ahead of the Iceman. As they ran, the penguin explained that he'd traveled to the past to warn Max, but he only had enough time to tell him about the frozen river and the clock tower before disappearing. Now Max was on his own. The forest was silent except for the crunching of snow under his shoes. The trees were frozen mid-twinkle, and the animals appeared lifeless. Then Max heard a familiar sound, the chirp of a bluebird. At first it was a faint chirp, but then it grew louder and more insistent. Following the sound, Max came to a frozen pond, and there, stuck inside a block of ice, was a bluebird, struggling to free itself. Remembering what the penguin had told him, Max approached the bird cautiously. "Don't be afraid," he said. "I'm here to help." As he reached out to touch the bird, it stopped struggling. "Please don't freeze me," it chirped. "You can't save me." Max knew that if the bird was frozen, then so was its song. And if he didn't do something, the entire town would be frozen forever. So he took a deep breath, closed his eyes and focused all his energy on the bird. He pushed with all his might and slowly the ice began to crack. Finally, the bird was free, and as the last of the ice melted away, it flew to Max's shoulder. With the bird by his side, Max continued on his way. Soon he came to a clearing, and in the center stood a tall clock tower. Its hands were frozen at the 13th hour. Just then, the Iceman loomed into view, his expression grim. "You'll never get there in time," he said. "Give up, kid." But Max wasn't listening. Inspired by the bluebird's bravery, he started to run. The Iceman swung his staff, but Max dodged out of the way. Then, remembering what the penguin had said about the clock tower, Max yelled, "Time to wake up." As the Iceman approached, Max jumped onto his back and dug his elbows into the back of his frozen neck. The Iceman roared and thrashed wildly, but Max held on tight. Just as the clock struck 13, the Iceman's body began to shake. With a loud crack, the ice around them shattered and the giant slumped to the ground, transforming back into the zoo owner. The townspeople emerged from their icy stasis, blinking in the bright sunlight. Max and the zoo owner were soon surrounded by people thanking him for saving the day. And although no one else could see it, a bluebird landed on Max's hand, its song echoing through the now unfrozen town. Max smiled. He might not have been able to save the penguin, but he had saved his town, and that was more than enough for him.